Welcome back, everyone, to Talking It Out with Bachelor Nation. It's here, folks. Bachelor finale. We all saw what happened. We got Nayte, the Great, on the show. We're going to talk to our guy. I'm sure he's extremely happy.
Congratulations to Nayte, bro.
Yeah, congrats to Nayte. I'm really happy for him and Michelle. But of course, we got to get to our hot takes first, man. And something interesting that came up on the show. Michelle actually mentioned that she was in love with two men for different reasons, right? Mm-hmm. We have Brandon, we have Nayte, and you heard her describe each individual and what attributes they brought to the table and what she loved about each one. But my question is, can you be in love with two people at the same time? And I think, in my opinion, I think it's a definitive no. And she basically answered her own question. She basically said, who can I not live without? Right? And she answered her own question at that moment. She basically decided, look, if I let Nayte go, I will never forgive myself. If I let Brandon go, eventually I'd be okay. Yes, it sucks because Brandon was great. I love Brandon. I know, Mike, you didn't even have him in your top 4. Correct. But I thought he did a great job. I think he's one of the most genuine people that's ever come on this show, or at least I've seen in a while. But she followed her heart at the end of the day. And she realized that she could not live without Nayte. And that's the way I think it should always be settled in situations like this.
That's the way love goes.
That's the way love goes, man.
Janet Jackson, shout out.
I just don't, you're always going to be inclined towards one person more than the other. And I just think that's the way it is. There can never be, I'm in love, I can't decide. No, if push comes to shove, and you couldn't have one person, how would you feel? And I think they're always going to go with the one that they can't live without. What do you think?
I love everything that you said, but I disagree, man. I think that
okay.
What they talk about in consensual non-monogamy, and that is not what Michelle has. Okay, but when they talk about consensual non-monogamy, there's one rule when it comes to a couple that were to consider this, which is you cannot tell your partner who you can and cannot love, because love is something that can't be controlled. I do feel that you can be in love with more than one person. As much as I don't want to say that.
Time out. At the same time, because I do
feel
believe
you can be in love with more than one person at the same time.
Yes. Okay. Because I do believe, just to clarify, you may have different loves of your life throughout a lifetime, right? You could, be in love and married for 20 years and you're totally in love, and then all of a sudden you're in love with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I don't think so. That's just me. But yes, keep on with your take.
I've never been in love with two women at the same time. Only been in love one time to this day. And so I don't have experience within it. But I do feel, and from the research I've done, you can be in love with more than one person at the same time and have, like Michelle said, different feelings from each one, or different feelings from those people.
But I guess my question is then, obviously she had to make a decision, but why did she go with Nayte instead of Brandon? She had to base that on something. They both brought amazing things to the table, but at the end of the day, she said, you know what? I would never forgive myself if I didn't pick Nayte. Brandon, I love him as a person, and everything that she said to him in the finale. But at the end of the day, she didn't have that same feeling for him. Correct. Deep down inside.
Brandon is a great guy. Just because you are a wonderful individual doesn't mean that you're the right person for that individual at that time in life. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know why when people get out of a relationship, they break up, somebody or both parties cry, and they may think that it's them. It doesn't have to be that way. He just, like Tia said on Bachelor in Paradise this past season, he just didn't make her dance.
Shout out to Alexis Waters, by the way, who originally came up with the vagina dance take. Okay. I got to give it to Dolphin, my Dolphin girl right there.
But that's what it is. That's exactly what it is, though. So I think that Michelle did a wonderful job of sifting through her emotions. One, I don't know how I would handle that situation. Don't want to be in a situation like that. But she did a wonderful job. And I love that Michelle, despite what her parents said, she said that she's never followed her heart fully. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. And so I'm happy for Michelle. I'm happy for Nayte. I'm happy for them together. And so I do think that for Nayte to watch this back is going to be hard, but I think that you can speak more from that angle and perspective.
Yeah.
I feel for Nayte, honestly, watching this back, because I know that has to be hard to hear from, your fiance. And that's something that...
The in-laws too, right? Future in-laws, yeah.
The future in-laws as well. But I think, again, Michelle just played it wonderfully. And yes, Bryan, my take is that two people can be in love at the exact same time. One person can be in love with two people at the exact same time for different reasons.
I guess my thing is like, at the end of the day, if I made you decide, you're gonna go with one. Like, you can't choose both. Like,
I mean, you put a gun in my head. Of course, I'll decide which one.
Okay, and who are you gonna go with?
I'm not in that position, so I mean, I'm not Michelle.
But like, it's gonna be the one that you're like, you know what? Like, I cannot. Like, she even said, the one person you would be devastated to basically live life without. Like, that's.
But that's not
that's
the right
answer. That's what gave her clarity at the end of the day.
For
She's
her,
like,
yes.
That's what gave her the clarity to let go of Brandon.
I agree with that, but it's not that way for everybody.
I guess I'm trying to figure
an ultimatum situation, like obviously.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what we're talking about. I guess I'm trying to figure out how does that, like, what does that look like in real life, where you're like in love with two people. I guess, yes, you don't have to make a decision, so you just write it out. You got somebody on the left and somebody on the right, and you just continue on with their. Like, eventually they're going to be like, I don't want you loving that other person like that. Like, you either love me.
Not of course. But, Bryan, that's the beautiful thing about The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. People are put in precarious situations that normally wouldn't happen outside of the show. All right?
Yeah.
Outside the show, your partner most likely be like, hell no, we're not going to even allow this. You know what I mean? It's not going to even be a thought.
Sometimes they don't know, which is the sad part. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't know about each other, possibly.
For the ones that don't know about each other, all I got to say is that person doesn't respect themselves enough.
Correct. Yes. So, we do not condone that whatsoever.
0%. My hot take of the day.
What you got?
My hot take is, I've been studying Spanish, so I'm going to say por ejemplo.
Yeah, you've been busting out multiple Spanish words today, and I'm really impressed, bro. I can't wait to have a full-on conversation in Spanish with you.
We will. I talk about self-love a lot. We talk about vulnerability, being a man, because it seems that men don't do that a lot. And I've always been honest about how I feel. I said, Brandon, I don't think he'll make top 4. I felt that Michelle always looked at him more as a friend, right? I'll be honest about that. I apologize to Brandon. I was incorrect, right? She definitely saw a lot in Brandon. This past week, I said, and what did I say? I think I quoted, how do we feel about Nayte? I'm watching him close. I believe that's exactly.
I saw that,
said,
man.
Right?
You ruffled a lot of feathers with that one.
Yeah, like I'm still to this very second confused on what the hell I said that was so offensive, And the hot take is loving yourself fiercely through adversity, right? So, back brief. And I even said it on the podcast when you were gone. You were on vacation, but with Brandon, I said that I also, my great grandma just passed away, and this past weekend she ascended to heaven. Right, I was one of her pallbearers this past weekend, as well. My cousin got shot in the neck, and I see people coming at me on Twitter over some minuscule shit. And what made it hurtful was that they were saying I'm coming at a black man, and I do this to my own people when I'm a mentor, and I can go on and on, but I'm not here to give my resume, right? But I think it's beautiful what Brandon said and what Nayte is showing, which is don't take people's words to heart, right? People are always going to say what they want to say. People are always going to look out for themselves. People are always going to speak their opinion, whether they like you or not, especially via Twitter fingers. Your wife just went through it on her podcast, right? And I think that some of the hate that Nayte is getting, he's showing, and I want to speak to Nayte about it, that he's showing that it's not going to deter him. And I think one of the beautiful things about Nayte is that he knows his identity. He walks into his identity. And I think that's a part of confidence, not arrogance, confidence and self-love. And I think that I displayed it as well. I'm not going to delete that tweet. I said what I said. And I still, to this very second, feel I want to make sure that, they're right together, which I'm happy for. And I celebrate their love. But watching this episode, I mean, Nate's mom felt the same way I did. Michelle's parents felt the way I did, and the one guy in Puerto Vallarta felt the way I did. And so I don't see why people are coming at me when I'm speaking honest, but I still absolutely love the way Nate's carrying this.
No, listen. First of all, I know I speak on behalf of everybody. Our condolences for your grandmother, and I hope your cousin, is okay. It's a horrible situation, so love there. But based on what you're saying, like, I don't think you said anything wrong. Right? I mean, if anything, this finale kind of backs up, you keeping an eye on him because, even Michelle brought it up. Like, there were red flags brought up. Like, mama knows best. She trusts her mom's instincts. And her mom told her straight to her face, I don't think he's ready for an engagement. Like, so, like, you just saw what they saw. And basically, we're just going off what we see, right?
I'm glad you said that, going off what we see, because we don't get to see everything.
We don't get to see everything. We don't get to hear all the conversations. So you're just basically going off of what you see. You didn't say anything bad. You're not saying Nate's a bad dude. I mean, and at the same time, it obviously was tough because of the comparison game. Even the dad said, he's like, it's going to be tough not to compare because they just literally had like the utopia of family gatherings with Brandon. Like, everything went great. The mom was crying, but at the end of the day, Michelle was the one with the decision to make, and they were going to follow her decision, and whatever she decides to do, they were going to love that person and go with that.
I love that Michelle's dad said that. He said, baby, no matter whatever you decide, we're going to ride with you and love you no matter what, right? And I think that we need to commend Michelle for literally following her heart. So many people listen to other people. So many people don't just follow their heart. Michelle said to herself she's never followed her own heart. So I want to commend her for doing that. And then also, again, just commend Nate for all the stuff that we've seen outside since this has taken place, since they have been engaged.
No, and that's kind of like some advice that, I want to speak to Nate about, as far as, what advice I have for him. Like, don't worry about all that noise. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't worry about all that noise. Like, what you say, what, Joe Blow says, what, the peanut gallery says out there, it doesn't matter. You have this amazing woman. Like, all you got to do is love her through and through. Like, do that, and like all that noise, like, it doesn't matter. Like, that's it. That's all you need to do, Nate. And like, as long as he does that, like, as long as he stays true to his heart, that's it. That's all he needs to do. Like, he's going to be happy, and they're going to be happy together.
I'm going to say this, and I want to make sure we bring Nate in so we can talk to the man of the hour and celebrate him. I find that beautiful. That this is Nate's first time falling in love. He's fallen in love with a woman that is extremely patient. To be a teacher, you know how patient you have to be, right? And the qualities you must exude and show and do. I feel like this is a perfect pair, Michelle and Nate, for the two of them. Nate never being in love before. I feel like he's going to maximize and do everything in his power. And then there will be things that he messes up. There will be things that Michelle messes up. But I think that with the patience that they have, they could be a beautiful, long-lasting couple until time brings us home, right? And so with that, I think that we've settled it. I think that we've shown what self-love is, to be fiercely in love with yourself. And I think that's what Nate absolutely does, walks in his confidence. And I just want to hear from the guy himself and just congratulate him.
Yeah, man, let's bring him on.
I don't know if y'all follow me, but this one time I had tweeted, and I think I put it on my IG when I was talking about, stop sending these lame, dull, boring, good morning text messages. How about we step it up to the next level? 2022 coming up, so let's move it to the next level. When she's about to go to work, how about you gift her something that she needs in the morning to start her day off on the right side of things? And what I did, I was talking to this one young lady, and I gifted her her favorite coffee. I made sure it was at her door, the way that she likes it. It was pretty sweet, I thought so. I got branding points for that, fellas. And like with Postmates, I get all my favorite foods from local restaurants in my neighborhood delivered, whether it's my house or their house, not even having to leave the house myself. And even better yet, not even getting in my car and dealing with this traffic. And Postmates isn't all about burritos, not all about sushi or any other type of food. I can literally order things like toothpaste, phone chargers. We always know we need a phone charger on demand as well. That's because places like Walgreens and 7-Eleven are also on Postmates. My favorite part, when the app lets me know that my food or items have been delivered. Literally godsend. Everything is right outside my door. It's just so easy, y'all. Just download Postmates on Android or iOS and find your favorite foods or that one thing that you forgot to get from the store. and it's delivered on demand right to you. And for a limited time, Postmates is giving our Talking It Out listeners a little something. New customers will get $20 off your first order of $30 or more when you use code Talking It Out. That's code Talking It Out to get $20 off your first order of $30 or more. Just download the Postmates app or sign up online. It's super easy. Offer is subject to changes in taxes and fees apply. Offer valid for 30 days after you add the promo code to your account.
Nate, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, guys.
Nate, congratulations, my brother. Congratulations.
Yes, congrats,
I appreciate
bro.
you. Appreciate you. Thank you.
You are engaged, my man.
I am.
How do you feel, bro? Talk to us. How do you feel?
Yeah,
How do you feel?
I feel great. I feel on top of the world. Like this is, it's unbelievable. I feel amazing. It's special. It's special.
It is special. And I want to make sure that that's the tone for the entire podcast. That's the tone for your entire relationship with Michelle. That's what love is. It's special. So congratulations to you. I still want to kick it with you in Austin. I DM'd that to you. We had a little DM or whatever.
Wait, can we settle this real quick? Is there a beef between Mike Johnson and Nate? Let's just settle this right here because there's been a lot of talk. Anybody want to talk? Anybody want to say something?
I'm be specific. Nate, do we have a beef?
I'm not sure. I am unsure about this.
All right, well, let me help you out in that regard to help your mindset.
Yeah.
As you may or may not know, I definitely got love for you. Like on the basketball date, I was like, bruh, you should say, come on now.
Yeah.
That's not.
He's a lover. He's a lover.
Obviously, that wasn't me coming at you. That was
of course not.
A joke, right? I'm sure you've gotten that by all your best homies, right? Because I'm sure you put your arm up, you basically could dunk the ball, right?
100%.
Now, with that being said, what I said to you on Twitter was, and I've said it already once, which was, how do we feel about Nate? I'm watching him close, right?
Yeah.
And I believe that was my exact words. I thought you were a good sport, and you shared it, or however you say it, and you were like, I thought we were friends, or I thought we were boys, or something of that nature. Right? I thought we were hermanos.
Yeah.
And then I got a bunch of hate, and in my opinion, I don't deserve none of that hate. And the reason is because I didn't say anything bad about you. I said I'm watching them close, and I feel that in today's episode, I was backed up in that. Your mom had said something. Michelle's parents had said something. The guy in Puerto Vallarta had said something, and I felt the same way, right? And so,
What is it about me? What is it about me that you feel like, and a lot of other people feel like they got to watch me closely?
The reason I said I want to watch you close is because we all love Michelle, as do you, of course, in love with Michelle, and I just simply want to make sure that your words are with your actions. Because I think that people watching it back will say, okay, I wasn't mean to Nate. I didn't say I hate Nate. I didn't say anything of that nature. I said I'm gonna watch Nate close.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I think that somebody in your position understands how this environment is, right? So I think you've been watching me closely for a long time, because I think it all started when I listened to the podcast that you and Bryan were talking about the whole Chrisette situation, right? You had some pretty strong opinions on me saying it's not if, it's when, right? And you kind of jumped to a lot of conclusions as me. You were talking about my character, saying that if Michelle does end up with me, you were talking about like that is a direct reflection of my character, because whether it's cockiness and I should never have said that, I feel like you were once in this position before, and I think that I didn't watch what season you were on, but I think that not every conversation that you ever had with the Bachelorette was ever aired, right? So nobody understands what you guys ever talked about, right? Other than you and the individual, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like you didn't stop once to just say, maybe Nate had the confidence, maybe there was something that was said in previous conversations that hey, it's not if, it's when. I had the confidence to say something like that. Because I wasn't out here talking about, hey, man, I got this in the bag. Not once did I ever say that. You got to remember, not once did I ever say I had anything in the bag. And you guys kind of ran with it. You in particular kind of really ran with Nate was over here like he got in the bag. I never said that. Chris S said that I was walking around the house like I had it in the bag. I never said it. You know what I mean? So I was just like, damn.
Correct.
You know, I was like, damn, like for real? Man, really ran with the whole fact that I said that. I never said that. All I said is it's not if, it's not if, it's when. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's the thing about the internet is like, do people really think I hopped up the limo and just, you know, felt like I had everything in the bag? No, I had amazing moments, amazing conversations.
And
I got like,
no, don't cut him off, bro.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I had reason to believe. I had reason to believe in myself. I had reason to have the confidence to say what I said. And I think the internet kind of ran off with what I said, and especially you. You know, I think that you really ran off with me saying like, you know, I'm cocky, I'm arrogant. That was overconfidence. I should never have said that. You know what I mean? And you've been in my situation before. You know that what they show on TV is not 100% what you know isn't what they don't show every moment.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
And that's just
there's
like,
a lot of there's a lot of like, I'm not going to sit there and complain like, dang, like Jamie just got a 1-on-1. Now Rodney had a 1-on-1. Martin, I'm not going to sit there and complain like, where's my one? I'm not. No, like, you know what? I'm going to enjoy every experience I have with Michelle, and I have the confidence to believe for a very good reason. I'm not going to talk about what those reasons are because, you know, at this point it's just between Michelle and I. Correct. You know what I mean? But I had very good reason to say, you know what? There's no reason for me to be upset right now.
I think that what you're saying. My apologies, bro.
No, keep on
going. I think what you're saying is directly what my co-host Bryan is probably thinking about right now, because Bryan, he's very similar to yourself. Got the first impression rose. He is now married, obviously, you know, to his wife, Rachel. And something that Bryan, I'll speak to because he's spoken about it aloud, is that him and Rachel, and I know Bryan, you'll speak to this, him and Rachel had like a little thing. He knew that Rachel loved him and vice versa, right? And that wasn't seen on camera. And so you are right, Nate. All I can go off of is what I see on TV. I have been in your position, you're right about that, and everything doesn't get shown. I'm going to go off of what I see on TV, and I'm going to speak my opinion. Like last week, we had Brandon on the pod. I didn't think he was going to even make top 4, right?
Yeah.
And I apologize to him, but that doesn't negate the fact that I'm going to speak to how I see it. Now, with that being said, all your points are valid. They're very valid. I hear you, and I'm cheering for you. I'm here to celebrate you. I'm here to celebrate your love, but I'm not going to like forgo my tweets because I know that it's something that you would desire, you deserve to hear how I feel. And I'm going off of simply what I've been seeing. Just like everyone that watched the show.
I think that's what bothered me at the beginning, because at first it's like you hear a podcast, it's like, okay, it's whatever. Then you see a tweet, it's like, okay, it's whatever. Then you hear this, it's like, you know, talking about when you were with Brandon, talking about the whole, you know, you guys didn't want to say names, but everybody in the world knows you were talking about me, not Joe, about how I was looking at everything like it was just a competition and nothing more than a competition to me. We all know you were talking about me, right? So I think like when it all piles on, that's when I was like, damn, like what's up with this guy? Like, this guy has actually an issue with me for some reason, you know what I mean? And like,
when I
going back to like, I understand that you just said, like, you know, I'm just basing off what I see on the show. You know, I get that, but like, I would expect that from everybody else. But for you individually, you have been in my shoes before, in the sense that you've been you've been in this environment, right? So I understand that you're saying I'm only being based on what's on the television screen, but you in particular, you know that what's on the television screen does not always add up. You know, like you didn't once stop to think that maybe Nate said that for a reason. Maybe that didn't come from a place of arrogance. Maybe that didn't come from a place of cockiness. So, or he's you know, that's a reflection of his character, and Michelle's going to have to deal with that if she chooses him. Like, come on, man. All I said was, it's not if, it's when. I wasn't over here talking shit. I was on the couch, and somebody asked, hey, Nate, how do you feel about this? I was like, you know what? I'm not upset. I don't, like, Martin just got a 1-on-1. I'm not going to cry about it. Like, I'm going to have my time here soon, because I know that I have a connection with this woman, and that we are going to continue moving. We're going to continue progressing this relationship, because there's definitely a very strong mutual interest in both parties. I didn't say anything malicious. I said it's not if, it's when. I never once said I have it in the bag. I didn't walk around like I had it in the bag. Every single guy defended me. Like, Nate does not walk around the house like he has in the bag. No, nobody in the house is doing that, and definitely not Nate, like Chris has said. And then next thing you know, the whole world is saying Nate said that he has in the bag. No, I didn't. Chris S said I did.
I guess
so it was just like it was a lot, man. It was a lot.
Nate, that's like I wish it wasn't phrased like that, because obviously Chris S took that and ran with it, right? Like I was in your position where it's like I got supreme confidence from getting that first impression rose. You got it. You have every right to be confident. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I guess like I wish you wouldn't have said it, because you gave people that at the end of the day had no business being there and never had a connection with Michelle. You like opened up yourself for them to go do some shady shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like,
and I definitely understand that.
Could the words have been better? Yeah. Like if you know what I'm saying? But yes, I agree. Like, I don't think that you meant that you had this thing in the bag. Like, you were just a confident individual in that sense, right? I mean, you knew the connection you had with Michelle, and you know the way it came out in front of the group. It's like there's snakes in the room. You know what I'm saying? And that guy went ahead.
Nobody had a problem with what I said, other than Chris S too. Like the rest of the guys, like everybody else is like, listen, what's wrong with this guy? You know,
those guys that know they have no shot, like they have to stir up some shit. So they took your words, twisted it, and took it to Michelle. But let's switch gears here. Like I didn't want to like take it this like I wanted you guys to just like squash this or whatever it was. Like I didn't think it was like anything serious. But
no, nothing serious. I think I just I'm happy that I'm here right now, because I was definitely feeling a certain type of way, and what better place to talk it out than talking it out, right?
I'm glad you said that. So I'm glad you said that, because obviously, on talking it out, I knew when I sent that last tweet that you were going to be here today. Obviously. And so in Bryan and I's conversation, I have absolutely zero malice towards you. And I'm glad as well, and knowing when I sent that tweet that we were going to talk it out today. It would be different if I had no idea whatsoever. I like the heat. I'm going to put myself in the kitchen, and I'm not going to I'm not going to combat your words, because that's how you feel. And there's nothing wrong with the way you feel. And there's also nothing wrong with the way I feel. And so, again, we want to celebrate your love and just get to know you, and get to know you. And more importantly, bro, get to know you from the things that we didn't get to see. That's genuinely what it's about, talking it out. You want to get to know the things we didn't see, because when I get to learn, and when Bryan gets to understand you, and everyone listening gets to see your heart, that's when you get to change everyone's opinion that is going against you, bro. That's the beauty of talking it out.
Yeah. Most definitely.
So how is it to finally, Nate, be able to share your love with the world, my brother?
Oh man, I can't wait. Honestly, like, we've been waiting. You know what I mean? Like all we do is talk about how, Michelle and I, all we do is talk about, like, we cannot wait till we don't have to hide anymore. I can't wait to be able to do this and do that, and just not have to hide 24/7. So this is it's buckle up. We both are ready to scream from the tallest mountain our love for each other, for the world to know, like, this is real, this is genuine, we are madly in love with each other. So it's it's day one, and I can't wait to really have some like downtime with Michelle, so we can let the people see what the people didn't necessarily get to see.
The tallest mountain is Michelle on your shoulders, bro.
Yeah.
And Nate, man, man, I know Rachel and I were chomping at the bit, just to get our love story out there. And, I also got the first impression rose, and now we're married. So just a little advice, man. Like, tomorrow's going to be an avalanche. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's going to be a lot of haters out there that, they're going to come at you, which they probably already are, that, you're going to, I give it 6 months, they're never going to make it. I'm sure you're getting the same thing I got. Like, he's too good to be true. He's a player. He's going to break her heart. Like, you shut them up by just being true. By just being true to your word, bro. Like, by devoting yourself to Michelle, like by loving Michelle and making her the happiest woman in the world. Like, everything you were saying in the last episode, that you guys were in tune, your heart and your mind were in tune and are aligned, that you wanted forever with her. Just be that guy, bro. Just follow through with your whole heart, and like, don't let the outside noise come between you guys, because it's going to be tough. But I would say communicate. Like, if you see something out there that you don't like, talk to her about it.
No, that's the truth right there. Like, when it comes to communication, like the last 2 months since we left Mexico, 3 months maybe, it's like we both have become much better communicators, because that's what you have to do, especially with everything that's going on and everything that people are saying about this, that, and the other.
The rumors, the
you
blogs.
Definitely, you definitely want to communicate, and that's something that something that I told Michelle very early on is, I have been in, her and I have definitely talked about previous relationships. That was probably the majority of what we spoke about during the overnights, which is past relationships, what we learned, personal flaws, things like that. And what I told her a while back is, I want this to be like the best relationship. You know what I mean? I want everything I've ever learned from failed relationships, everything that I know I could have done better, everything. Like, I want to communicate all the time with you. I want there to be nonstop trust, communication, honesty, everything, because like, I want this to be forever. And regret is my biggest fear. And I don't want either one of us to regret, like, us not putting 100% 24/7. And that's really where we are with the communication, like going through how weird this is right now with our relationship being on public display, and people definitely having opinions based on how something was formulated for the public to see. People have very strong opinions about me right now. Yeah. And we were definitely talking it through and having always open communication, so that we don't let this affect us. It's definitely, we'd be, I'd be lying if I said that it's been rainbows and sunshine. But what will tell you is that we don't go to bed upset, and we are always communicating. And that's honestly, we're happy and madly in love 99.99% of the time. And that's all that matters.
Exactly, bro. That's all that matters. Yeah. And, as long as you guys are communicating like that and being transparent and get everything out on the table, because they're going to bring it to your attention. And if you already talked about it, it's like, there's no reason to even think about that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, you got the right head on your shoulders, bro. And I think both of you are on the right track, and just keep doing what you're doing, man. I think you guys are going to be very successful for sure.
Brian, I don't know if you remember it. I don't know if you remember you saying this, and Nate, you probably haven't heard Brian say this, but everything that Brian is saying, he's speaking from experience, because he's literally been in your shoes, like exactly, right to a T. I've been in your shoes like half. I've been in one of your shoes, not both of your shoes, right? And so what Brian said, and that will always stick with me, and I want to give this, to you. Let that shit that I've said, that everyone said, that someone may feel about you, prove that wrong.
Yeah.
And I've said about you specifically, I think that you never being in love before is perfect for Michelle and her patience and your patience in return. And that your patience is not wanting to do wrong by the woman that you love. And I think that it's going to be absolutely great for you too. I think that with your personality and the way that you are, the things that people may say that's negative is literally only going to keep your flame stronger, like literally.
Yeah.
There was something that I saw in tonight's episode, which I thought was pretty awesome. To me, it was literally I saw something different in you, Nate, which was, I felt it. You said, I came in here with 2 suits. You remember saying that?
Yeah.
You said that legit. This is how you know I'm being 100, because I'll say whatever is on my mind, right? And this, I was like, man, mi corazón, right? I felt for you, right? I'm learning Spanish, so forgive me. You said, I only came in here with 2 suits. And night 1, bro, you got the first impression rose, wearing 1 of 2 suits, right, that you had. And now this is your wife. Talk to me about that moment.
Shoot, man, it really was like, I went into this experience as level-headed, open-minded, don't expect anything. And I went into it not expecting anything. But I think, when you go into something with with 2 suits and, 12 t-shirts or something like that. I didn't know what to expect, you know what I mean? But when you go into this and then you realize like, okay, like this is serious. Okay, I'm really falling in love. Okay, like I'm now entering territory of best case scenario is you meet somebody, you guys fall in love with each other, you get engaged, and it's happily ever after. Realistically though, is that actually going to happen? And then you enter the territory of, holy crap, it's actually happening. And the best case scenario could happen, or the worst case scenario happens and you get all the way there and then all of a sudden you're completely heartbroken. Right. And so I got to that territory of like, I could be absolutely devastated very soon, or the best case scenario can actually happen. And that is the most terrifying, exciting, scary, exciting place to be. You know what I mean? Because it's like
roller coaster.
Like it's insane. Like the best case scenario is really right here, but also your heart can be completely ripped out of your chest because it doesn't go that way. So I think like from exiting the limo, I didn't know what to expect, and then all of a sudden it dawned on me, it hit me like I'm like the best case scenario is actually right here. Like this is really scary. Like the best case scenario could literally be my reality, and I was not expecting that. I tried my best not to go into have any expectations, but I think I wasn't expecting to actually go on to a weird ass television show, meet somebody, and her and I click like I've never clicked before with anybody. We've now fallen in love, and you could be my potential wife. Like, what? This just happened.
You know what I mean? I totally understand the surrealness of that moment, bro. Like, take me back to that first night though. Like, did you know right off the bat that you guys had a connection? I mean, you were the first guy of the limo. Talk to me about that first interaction.
Yeah. No, I've gotten asked that question a few times. I think that first night there was so much going on. Like I knew that I was like, oh, like wow, this is one beautiful woman, right? And I know that I remember when she kissed me, I was like, oh, whoa, like this is crazy. Like there's a connection here. But that first night nerves kind of unfortunately did block a lot of it was a lot. That was a busy first night. But
that happens to the best of us, bro.
Yeah. What I can tell you is after that basketball date. So the first group date, her and I had a conversation at the cocktail party, and it was after that conversation that I remember going back to my hotel room after, just laying in bed, staring up at my ceiling, like sparks. I've never experienced sparks before, and I was like, I'm like, I'm so happy I'm here. Like, I'm so happy I met this one. Like, I'm here, and I'm like, wow, this could be something extremely special. And it was after that cocktail party, after the very first group date that I went on, that I was like, holy crap, what am I getting myself into? This is serious.
Hey, I love that you said that, because my time in watching this show, because like yourself, I didn't watch prior to going on. What I love about you and Michelle is that you came into the situation with an open heart, but you did not come into the situation already madly in love with Michelle. And I think that so many people come on this show saying, I love you from Jump Street. And to me, that is always irked me. If you would have said that, best believe you would have heard even more from me, right? That has always irked me, because I don't find that that's genuine. Yeah. What I love about what you're saying, what you just said, and I want to hit on, is that it was a progress. One of the most famous words used in this show is journey, right? Yeah. It genuinely was for the two of you. That in itself a journey. What was it after that basketball date? Which I laugh because of my tweet, which it's funny, right? It is what it is. It's funny, right?
Yeah, no, it is.
What happened after that basketball date that made you, when you went to your room, just looking up like, oh my God?
What was that? Like her and I had a moment. I think I've never experienced sparks flying, but I know in that moment that was my first time experiencing it. Like the conversation we had, like the first time, like really, like you get that first night out of the limo, nerves now out the way, you're sitting down with this woman, you guys are having this conversation, and like didn't skip a beat. we started, that's where the running joke of us running away, that's where it started, because we're like, yo, we can just run away right now. Like, let's go. You know what I mean? Like, yes. It was just like, is like as close to this whole, I guess, love at first sight that I've ever experienced, because neither Michelle or I really believe in love at first sight. But in that moment, it was like, I'm ready to risk it all. Let's go. Let's do this.
So what is it about Michelle, man? Like what made you have just those elevated feelings that you had never had before? Like, what is it about her that is so special to you?
The way that we talk with each other, the types of conversations we have. I've never felt so, I guess, comfortable with a woman before, so quickly and so naturally. And like, when you're doing a puzzle and you got like one piece left, and like how satisfying it is to just put that last piece and everything just gels together. You know what I mean? Like,
you got everybody on your side, boy.
No. What I'm saying is like that's kind of how it felt. Like that first time out the, like, when you get the first night limo out the way, all those crazy nerves, and you got to like finally have a little bit more, like, less nerves, and you're just, able to be yourself a little bit more. And it's like, that's how it felt like. It felt like that like when you put that last piece in the puzzle and everything just gels together, and you're like, this is nice. This feels, that's how it feels with Michelle. It feels like putting that last piece of the puzzle in. That's how it feels like with Michelle. So that's something that you want to hold on to.
Yeah, that was a straight up the best analogy. Like, I think what you said earlier is going to be a completely different once this airs. I truly feel that based on what you just said right there. That's a beautiful. We love to know it from a deep down inside, the good places, and that's where that response just came from to me. At least me. That's how I feel about that. But specifically with Michelle, like I've asked this question before, and I want to ask you, what was it about Michelle?
Michelle personally?
Yeah.
Oh man, like there's so much, right? Like I don't know, man. Like, I think this is why, like, I have trouble, like, even expressing myself, because as human beings, like that's like, we are complex, you know what I mean? So to like, when you're falling in love with somebody, and you need to like put that into like a quick little 1-2 sentence, like, oh, it's the way I feel with her, or the way she smiles, or the way that we talk, like, it doesn't do it service, I think that's where I kind of get like flustered when trying to explain my feelings, because this is some complex feelings, you know what I mean? So like, what is it about Michelle? I mean, we can talk about, the way we look at each other. That doesn't do justice. We can talk about the way she smiles. That doesn't do justice. We can talk about the way her mind works. That doesn't do it justice. We can talk about, the way she laughs, or the way that she like challenges me, or the way that we have like this, we're both very goal oriented. You know what I mean? That doesn't do it justice.
Nate, what you're doing is doing injustice, bro. And the reason you're doing it justice,
it's frustrating.
I can see that. It's frustrating. But the reason that you're doing it justice, and I want everyone to know, is that you love her so damn much that you can't put it in a succinct frame.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I get what you're saying, being in this world of trying to say something that fits into a 2-word like snippet.
Yeah.
You can't do that. And I think you said that right there. Like, that's the love that you have. You can't put it in a 2 frame. But I think that when I said earlier, for you, this has been a journey.
Yeah.
We did talk highly of you with your moment with Charles, right? How much did it mean? Powerful. I mean, like, that was genuinely powerful. I don't know if you heard that episode. It was great for everyone to see that for a multitude of reasons. But I want to know from you, how much did it mean to you to tell him you loved him? Like, it was great for all of us to see that.
And hear it back like that.
Yeah.
You know what? That was probably the most like emotional day that I've had in a while. I think like it was a lot more than just the TV, man. Like that was like, you guys see me crying, and I think the way that they kind of pieced it together of why I was crying and how I was crying for me, it was like, oh, that's not at all how it went down. That was a lot, because obviously I have a complicated family, you know what I mean? So it was like, for that, it was like the whole time, Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get into it. It was good. It was good to let Charles know how I feel about him. It was definitely it was really good. It was a strong moment between us, and I'm happy that it happened. Yeah.
Well, we're happy.
Yeah, happy it happened as well, man.
Yeah.
Definitely happy it happened. It was great for us to see it and
Yeah.
everyone else to see that. And I love that moment. We all did.
Yeah, that's the one thing about this show, man. I mean, it brings out emotions and brings people together like you would never think that it would happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just happy it strengthened your relationship in that way. So, kudos to that.
Yeah. No, most definitely. Most definitely.
So getting back to lovely Michelle, when did you know you were gonna ask her to marry you? Like, when was the moment? Was it Neil Lane, busting out the ring, or like?
No. You know what? When you I think I had a lot of time to myself, a lot of time for me to think about what next steps could look like, and what it all boiled down to was that I knew I was scared, I knew I was nervous, but I also knew that I don't want to spend the rest of my life without this woman. And I don't have all the answers. That's what I was kind of trying to talk to, actually a conversation I had with Charles, a conversation I had with Michelle. Like, I don't have all the answers, and the unknown is scary. When my mom asks me, what does life look like outside this bubble? Because being in love in this bubble and being in love when you leave this is it could be completely different. I don't have the answers to that. I don't have the answers to a lot of things, but what I do is I trust myself, I trust Michelle, and I trust that we're going to figure it out and that this is the person for me. So that's when I was like, let me go ahead and get down on one knee. This is what I want to do. I want to spend the rest of my life with this individual. And I'm not naive. I know it's going to be tough. I know it's going to be interesting and weird, but you know what? Like, I trust myself. I trust Michelle. I trust this connection, and that this is the person that I genuinely want to do life with. So I don't need to feel it out. I don't need to just date and feel it out. And hey, no, I want this. This is who I want to be with. So this is what I'm going to do. I don't play around with all this. You know what I mean? This is what I want to do, and I'm going to be confident in the unknown. But I'm going to trust myself, and I'm going to trust her. And if she so happens to say yes to me, then let's do this. So that's.
There's that saying that you tell God your plans. If you want God to laugh, tell him your plans, right? And so, and you going into the unknown, but doing it openly is the good thing, right? You speak about, you said you don't want to get too much into a Charles situation, which we absolutely love. You've never been in love before. You are madly in love, and engaged now. How does it feel to hear that? Like Nayte, we want to know a little bit about you. What was the childhood like? Up until this point, talk to us. This is talking it out. We want to know you as a human being, as an individual. I want to. Where'd you grow up? How about that?
All right. So I'm from Winnipeg, Manitoba. My parents got divorced when I was 5. My mom, I guess on my mom's side, my grandparents are from Europe. My dad's directly from Nigeria. So I grew up, in Canada with a Nigerian father, a white mom. They got divorced when I was 5. And then my mom met Charles. Charles became, my other dad. Love him to death. I got a stepmom too, who I love. I got sisters, brothers, played sports, always active, very civil. I love my family, I have nothing bad to say about my family. And I think that's why I was so emotional with Charles, was because, I don't like disappointing my family, and it was hard for me to, it's hard for me to tell Charles that I loved him, knowing that my dad's going to see that. So what I mean? It was.
I got goosebumps right there for that moment. Yeah. I can't even put that in word myself, but I know what you mean exactly. When you said, I know that one right there. I know that one.
Yeah.
Did you?
No. That's why. Going back to childhood. I love my dad is amazing. You know what I mean? my dad did a great job raising me, and Charles did a great job raising me as well. They kind of like every the places that Charles couldn't do, my dad was there. The places that my dad couldn't do, Charles was there. You know what I'm trying to say? So going back to the whole Charles thing, why I didn't want to talk about it. It's just it was emotional for me because my dad doesn't know that I call Charles dad. And I was like, fuck, like my dad's gonna see this. He doesn't know that I love Charles. I was like, damn, like my dad's gonna see this. It was tough for me. So, but at the end of the day, like, I love my family. Like my dad is amazing. Charles is amazing. My upbringing was amazing. My mom is amazing. My mom's like a superhero. You know what I mean? And yeah. So
were you able to talk to your dad about it, like beforehand, like about what was coming up?
No, man. I'm very close to my dad now. Me and my dad for the last 3 years have been very tight. Prior to that is a little bit more tricky with my dad. But for the last 3 years, me and my dad have been very close. But I don't know how to have that conversation with him. So I kind of let it just air on TV. My dad called me maybe 2 weeks ago, and he said, "Today, why didn't you tell me Charles was going to be there?" I was like, I don't know how to talk to you about that. And that's kind of as far as the conversation went. But I haven't seen him yet. I'm going to see him over Christmas. I'm sure, me and him will have a little bit of conversation about it. But, yeah. So, me and my it's hard for my dad and I to talk about our feelings. That's something that we don't do. But we're very close now. And that's something that I'm beyond happy about because, like I said, 3 years ago, there wasn't much of a relationship. But these last 3 years, I'm proud and happy to say that me and my dad are like best friends. So,
and do you think the show has made you a little bit more prepared to have those conversations with your dad?
Oh, most definitely. Even just life, like growing up, being from like a young man to, a man, like I think just life in general. And then the fact that me and my dad have a relationship now, it's a lot easier for us to talk to each other because, we do have a really great father-son relationship that started about 3 years ago. Right. So like just in general, it's easier to talk to my dad because if you would ask me like, can you talk to your dad about down near anything 4 years ago, my answer would be no. Yeah. So yeah, like I'm sure him and I will have that conversation. I think it's a tougher conversation to have, just culturally and whatnot. But I just don't ever want my dad to think that,
of course, yeah, he's
replaced or anything like that. It's just like I have two dads in my life. You know what I mean? So
that's what it is.
I don't want my dad to think that it's any slight against him. Like I don't know who I'd be without my dad. Same way I don't know who I'd be without Charles. Like the way my dad raised me, for some people they'd say, it seems a little hard or not the cultural norm, I guess. But shoot, man, I could imagine. Yeah.
Nayte, my apologies, bro. We had Olu on, and Olu is Nigerian. Yeah. And I was going to ask you, do you know what tribe your father is from?
Yeah, Yoruba.
I don't think Olu's tribe is Yoruba.
Same with Olu.
Okay, it is.
Yeah,
okay, same.
Yeah,
so did you guys like have a connection, like as boys from off the jump from that?
Oh yeah. Me and Olu, yeah, man. That's Swolu. Yeah, we definitely.
Swolu, yeah. That's his name, Swolu. For sure.
Yeah, Swolu. Yeah, no, we had a lot of good conversations. Just just Nigerian conversations. Yeah.
Speaking of Olu and like the other guys in the house, I mean, it seems like you're like boys with Rodney. I mean, talk about your relationships with all the guys in the house and who you're closest to.
Rodney is my brother for life. You know what I mean? Like that is my guy. We talk every day. We FaceTime every day. I talk to his mom. He's met my parents. Or not met, but like, FaceTime with the parents, all that. Like me and Rodney are absolute best friends. And when the wedding comes around, do not be surprised if he's my best man. That's
what's up.
You might have a couple of Michelle's ex-boyfriends at the wedding. Then it was what you're saying.
Hey, you know what? Hey, we kick it all the time.
Listen,
it's all love.
I had a couple of my weddings, so it is what it is.
No, exactly.
No, it is what it is. Not only did you fall in love with your fiance, you fell in love with hashtag King Rodney.
You had some bromances on the show.
Oh, yeah, that's my guy, man. Rodney. That's Rodney right there. Yeah, no, all love to Rodney. It's like because the show is weird and the whole ex-boyfriend and you guys used to date kind of dynamic, but from the jump it was like me and Rodney were best friends. I think like this might sound weird, but, you know, like the second I got my phone back, it was immediate like group FaceTime with Michelle and Rodney. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it was just because like we're all friends, you know what I mean? Like we FaceTime all the time. We did Thanksgiving virtually with Rodney and his people, Michelle and I. You know, like Rodney's just always going to be like that. That's a brother for life. You know what I mean? Like, and
that's beautiful.
And we've said it.
Yeah,
and
same with Michelle and Rodney. You know, like Michelle and Rodney are like genuinely good friends. You know what I mean? Like it's just beautiful. Like what has all came from the show. You know, it really is beautiful.
Like we said it. I don't think there's like he's probably one of the most likable guys that's ever been on this show.
Literally,
it oozed off the screen. It's like the guys loved him, Michelle loved him. Like everybody is just like drawn to this guy. He's so charismatic. So I love that, man. But
most definitely.
Real quick about, you know, getting back to Michelle. I mean, you and your past relationships, like what did you take from those relationships that helped you going into the relationship with Michelle, if anything?
That's a good question. Communication, believe it or not. I know people think I'm the worst communicator, but communication for sure. You know, just I'd have to say that's probably a big one from past relationships is communication and kind of just being more open. Again, believe it or not.
Are you saying?
But yeah,
just to be clear, are you saying that there was a lack of communication in previous relationships where you were able to grow in this one, or you took the communication and brought it into this?
Yeah, exactly. Like lack of communication and you know, lack of communication and you know, that's the thing about past relationships, right? Like you can never be mad at a past relationship, right? Like because like if for nothing else, that is a lesson. You know what I mean? That's a lesson on what you do like, what you don't like, what you know you shouldn't do in the future, know what you should do in the future. You know what I mean? Like that's why, like, you know, whenever I have friends who are going through bad breakups, all this stuff, like I don't believe in hating your ex. I don't believe in, you know, at the end of the day, that's a life lesson that you're going to carry with you for the rest of your life. You know, like even my parents, you know, like my parents, like they did not have a good divorce. But I know that both of them look at their relationship as a very valuable lesson in what they want for the next relationship. You know what I mean? Like you learn a lot from relationships, whether they work or they don't, you know what I mean? So yes. There's a lot that was learned from past relationships that, you know, whether I went on the show or not, that I just knew, like, you know what, like this is what, you know, nobody, you know, dates to break up. Nobody, you know, like you want to learn from every experience. And that's something that I try and do with everything. Like whether it's life experiences, relationship experience, family experiences, like I want to learn from like everything to make sure that the next one is easier. You know what I mean? Like you gotta, that's all you can do in life. You know what I mean? The more you fail, the more you know how to deal with the next time you're in the same situation that you failed at last time, so you don't fail this time. You know what I mean? That's the
growth.
Key to life.
That's
I feel
growth
like.
right there, man.
I think
exactly.
Nayte's growth on this season, we've seen a lot of it unfold with just your father's situation with Charles, with Michelle. Really quickly, when I posted that tweet, somebody said something I wanted to ask from the horse's mouth. And you brought it up. You brought it up a little bit in regards to culturally, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell all the listeners like what you meant by culturally with your father?
Yeah. Let me see. You know, because
I just don't want people arguing and bickering back and forth.
Yeah, you know, like you know, everybody's got to respect everybody's cultural background, and my dad, that's a Nigerian household. You know, I mean, that's a Nigerian household. The second you walk into the door, that's a Nigerian household. I mean, for just an example, what I mean culturally is like when I say like, I'll give you guys backstory. What I mean about like me and my dad have a relationship as of the last 3 years. What I mean by that is I graduated 3 years ago. My dad made it very clear to his kids, of course he loves us. You know, of course he's a dad like any other dad, whether you're in, you know, Asia, Africa, or North America, you know what I mean? Like he loves us, but my dad, he kind of raised us in a way. It's like, you know, don't really expect this whole father-son relationship until you get that first degree. You know what I mean? Don't expect love. Don't expect being proud of you. Don't come to me talking about women. Don't come to me because you're sad. Don't come to me because you're heartbroken. First of all, don't even talk to me about women. Get your degree and we can start, you know what I mean? Get your degree and then we can start having that relationship. So I graduated 3 years ago, and, you know, whether you want to judge my dad or not, you know what, first of all, My dad is one of the greatest people I know, and he kept his word. I graduated, and we tell each other we love you every time we're on the phone. We talk multiple times a week. I talk to him about Michelle. He loves Michelle. We FaceTime, all this stuff. Like we are a true father-son duo now. And like we never aren't telling each other that we love each other. He tells me that he's proud of me all the time. Like he kept his word. I know he felt that for the first, when did I graduate? First 24 years of my life. But he just kind of was like, don't expect to hear that until you get that degree. You know, my dad is about education. Let me tell you that right now.
Oh,
my dad is about education.
Yeah, sound like my grandma.
You know what I mean?
Sounds like it, yeah.
Sound like my grandma, bro.
You know, and like don't think that my dad was he wasn't bad. He wasn't over here just showing us nothing but like no love and hardness. He just was like, you know, I'm not here for that. I need you to get your degree, and then we can have that type of conversation.
He was no nonsense about it.
You know, yeah. Like Michelle's coming. To meet my dad and that side of the family for Christmas, and you know that will legitimately be the first time a girl has ever entered the house. I remember one time in grade 9, a girl knocked on my door and asked to hang out, and my dad was mad. Like he's like, "No, you don't do that. No, make sure you let all these girls never to ring this doorbell ever again." You know what I mean? Like, you know, like wait till you get your degree.
He wanted you to focus, bro. He needed you focused the whole time.
Hey, but look what happened though. Look what happened. Exactly. Now you got a successful young man. When you just said that, I went back to during the Men Tell All when Olu said, "Hey, bro, don't ever come and be like that." You talking to somebody, you know, that's exactly what my brain just went to.
Excellence right there.
Yeah, that's exactly what my brain just went to. So I appreciate you. Thank you for, answering that question so people can kind of have an insight, because ignorance is simply the absence of knowledge, right? And so not everyone knows how that is. Not everyone knows that household. Yeah. So I really appreciate that. It's giving a little bit of insight. Not saying that your dad is not the most loving human in the world. Your dad said, "Hey, this is what it is, son. Be focused."
Yeah. You get that degree, and then we can have those type of conversations. Exactly.
So Nate, man, the question that everybody wants to know: when's the wedding?
Hey, the wedding, summertime within the next couple of years. You know, we're definitely gunning for this wedding. We want it to be a summertime
shine.
Yeah, summertime shine. Yeah. So we're
listen, bro.
We're planning.
Take your time. Don't be pressured by anybody. It's on your guys' timeline and nobody else's.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. No, here's the thing about taking time, because I was actually the one who I remember like texting Michelle one day, or maybe we were on FaceTime, like, when do you want to start talking about dates? Because the way I look at it is like, I understand taking your time, but I'm over here like, man, why wait? Why wait? Let's go. Let's do this. There's a reason why we chose to because she could have said no, by all means she could have said, let's just date, but there's a reason why we're engaged. And it's because we want to get married, and we're not going to wait 4, 5, 6, 7. No, let's do it now. This is what we want. This is what we want. You know what I mean? So, but I feel you, Brian. I know what you're saying, but I just had to throw it out there.
I'm just saying, if you guys want to do it quick, go for it. If you guys want to wait a little bit, that's cool too.
Exactly.
Just don't let anybody pressure you into nothing, because I know how parents could be. I know how the outside world could be. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're gonna have their opinion on everything. So
what I want to know, I saw this one tweet. I think it was for somebody in Bachelor Nation, and it made me smile because I think you had logged back off and restarted your computer or whatever the case. As soon as I saw you today, you will have no idea what my first thought was. You will have no idea, so I'll just go ahead and tell you. My first thought was this tweet that somebody said, "Man, I wonder what Michelle and Nate's kids are going to look like." They're going to be tall.
You have a basketball in the crib, bro.
Tall, good-looking kids.
The genes are crazy.
That was my first thought, bro, when I saw you.
As long as they get her athletic ability, all right.
Look, see, I wasn't even going to go there with you, but, bro, did your homies talk crap about you for the layup?
Oh, of course, man. But here's the thing, you know what I mean? Like, I'm left-handed. They had me on the right side.
I'll fall out the chair. He said I'm left-handed.
But yeah, no, the friends, they were on.
All you got to tell everybody is, look, we balance each other out.
Exactly.
Y'all balance each other out. That's where it's at.
Exactly. I definitely didn't shine during that group date, but hey.
Hey, technically you did, because you said after that group date, that's when you went home and you were just looking up. So you did shine.
True. That's very true. That's very true.
So Nate, on the way out, man, obviously there's a lot the world didn't see. I'm sure there's a lot of conversations that you had. I mean, I was the same way.
Yeah.
you know, we feel like our true love story wasn't all the way shown on TV. Maybe there's a lot of things that you wish would have been shown. Like, Mike and I just want to give you the floor, man, just to talk about, you know, those specific moments and just, you know, all the misconceptions that people may have about you. Like, just speak your mind, man, and just tell us what your thoughts are on that.
What do you want the people to know?
Yeah, what do you want the people to know about you?
I think the most I think the most like polite way I can put how I kind of feel about how everything played out for me, and kind of like the way I was portrayed and whatnot. You know, at the end of the day, I don't want to take away from the fact that I understand that the people who like this is a television show, this is entertainment, and there are people who have like this is literally their jobs to tell a certain story. And I understand that the story does not necessarily have to be the story that it plays out, and I get it. For me, I wish that people could have really seen the moments. You know, I wish people could have really seen like the moments, the conversations that were had. You know, kind of like the reason why her and I had such a strong connection. You know, because every now and then you do see what people are saying online about you and whatnot, and you know, what's unfortunate is that it kind of has gotten to the point that, you know, anyways, it was frustrating. It was frustrating to watch. And I think that if for nothing else, you know, of course, it's hard to believe something that you never see, but trust when I say that, you know, there were a lot of special moments that, you know, hey, it's for Michelle and I to remember. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing, man.
You know what I mean?
You just need to continue making those special moments, and who cares what everybody else thinks? That's all that matters at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
Honestly, bro,
a lot was taken out. And it's like, you know, I understand that there was a story that needed to be told for entertainment purposes. You know, there. Yeah. It was what it is. What it is. But you know, there's a lot that was taken out, and you know, like there's a reason why Michelle and I have the connection that we have, and trust me, you know, when I say that, it has nothing to do with being 6'8", it has nothing to do with this and the other. Like, you know, apparently I'm a walking red flag. You know what I mean? And it's just a little unfortunate.
Whoa, I didn't see that. Why would I don't get that one?
Oh no, just you know, just a lot of red flags surrounding me, and just kind of like the way that things were pieced together. But you know, at the end of the day, you know, the very first day, Michelle, she came down to talk to all 30 men, and she said, I want somebody who can make natural out of an extremely unnatural environment. And I tried my absolute best. You know what I mean? I'm going to check myself every step of the way to make sure that this is natural, and this is progressing as natural as possible in such a weird environment. And I'm not going to, I'm going to always speak how I feel. I'm always going to tell you how I feel. And a lot of that was taken out. A lot of that was taken out, you know, and I understand, don't get me wrong. Let's not try and sit here and say that, you know, Michelle wasn't 100% sure where my head was, you know what I mean? And maybe I'm not the best at communicating, but I think with how things were portrayed, plus my natural incapabilities of knowing how to properly express what I'm feeling inside, and trying to like talk about such a profound feeling and try and put those into words, you know what I mean? I think it does couple up together to be like, hey, this guy is not ready for any of this stuff. But that simply was not the case. You know what I mean?
I think that's again, I go back to, that's why I think it's kind of cool. When we talk about social media, I was with my cousin this past weekend in Dallas, and a lot of people are going to get this. We were watching some old Gucci Man, right? Like 15 years ago. We were watching some old Gucci. I'm going to make it come full circle, right? And my cousin, he's a little rapper. And I was like, keep doing this, because what people really want to see is the journey. And with you, Nayte, like the conversation, you may not have been able to, or you may not have at that time. I want to make sure time is, you know, profound.
Yeah, at that
because
time,
I think that you're a changed individual. I think that you, not necessarily changed, I don't like that term. I think that this has aided you into opening up more. I like that better, right?
And it is just a weird environment too, like with everything that's going on. Like I talked about this in the previous podcast with Michelle, and it's like truly I didn't want to share moments special moments with the rest of the world. You know what I mean? Like, I remember like the first time I told Michelle I loved her, the first time I told her I was falling in love with her, the first time I told her I was even just simply falling for her. You know what I mean? I made sure not to share that with anybody but Michelle. I would wait until, you know, something would happen. We'd be in between, you know, things or whatever, in between doing this activity, when maybe the cameras aren't on us, or maybe there's like there's an audio issue or something. I'm like, okay, this is my time, because nobody else is going to see this other than me. And, you know, that's when I told her for the first time, both that all three, I was falling for her, I was falling in love with her, and that I truly did love her, or do love her. You know what I mean? Though I waited until, like, I don't want to share this for people's entertainment, who's sitting on a couch, you know, judging everybody's single move. You know what I mean? I want this to be between me and you for the first time I ever say this to you. You know what I mean?
What I remember being on the show, and I think what you're alluding to is, my favorite moments was when, like, the camera was setting up.
Yeah.
You know, when like you said, there was an issue. So that's when you get to, like, go all in, like, hey, the real person, you know?
Yeah. Exactly. And that's, you know, and then especially after the overnights, like, you know, like, oh man, like the overnights, the very next day was the rose ceremony. And that was difficult for me, because I remember, like, that after that overnight, I was just like, this is like everything. This is everything. I can't even try and put in words what that first overnight with Michelle was like. Like, it was just back to the last piece in the puzzle, you know, like everything. It was just, it and then it's like, oh wait, like, I'm standing here waiting for a rose. Like, there's 2 roses on the table and there's 3 guys. I'm still on a television show. Like, at that moment, I was like, this, like, I just want to go spend the rest of my life with this individual.
Like,
you know what I mean? Like, it was tough to check myself. It was tough to check myself the next day after the overnights, that, like, oh wait, like, this is still, you know, I'm still on a television show. Because at that point I was just so locked in. You know what I mean? It's just like, this is what I want to spend the rest of my life with.
And what I love, man, is that at the end of the day, you took it at your own pace. You were true to yourself.
Yeah.
Like, yes, the way, you know, it's portrayed, they're going to see you as a red flag. And, like, at the same time, the guy that's, like, all in and saying all of the, you know, this lovey-dovey stuff.
Someone sees that as a red flag too.
He's acting, or how can he be so in love in 2 months? Like, everybody's different. You know what I'm saying? You took it at your own pace. You were comfortable in your own skin.
Exactly. And, you know, you know, because there are people who are saying that is red flags from Brandon's perspective too. And it is funny, you know, at the end of the day, you know, you don't want to eat up too much of internet. But what I do want to just kind of air out to whoever is listening, who is kind of, you know, looking at either one of us as red flags, is like, you know, I truly believe that Brandon and I were unapologetically ourselves, you know, and I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair to call somebody a red flag from a quick little 60-minute television show of little snippets. Call somebody a red flag for whatever personality they have when they are unapologetically being themselves. You know what I mean? Like, I was, and I'm sure Brandon was too. We were unapologetically ourselves, and neither one is wrong. You know, it's just who we are.
You're walking in your identity.
I don't know how to express myself. I don't know how to, you know, this and the other. I'm a confident dude. And I was who I was, and you know, kudos to Brandon for being unapologetically himself too. You know, like, neither one is a red flag. We're just 2 individuals on this planet. You know, and you guys just got to watch it.
Listen, bro. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just gonna say, Nate, I love that you said that. I remember us having Blake on. Blake said he doesn't want to hear nothing bad come from no one. And it's a completely different situation, obviously. And to what you're saying as well, there's nothing, because I've seen both sides. People saying, I haven't seen people say you're a red flag. I have seen people say that Brandon is a red flag. I did not see that against you, nor did I say you were a red flag.
No, I know you didn't. I know you didn't.
I'm talking when people have said that I've came at you in that regard. I know you.
Got you.
I like that you said that, because it's beautiful when someone can be themselves in the face of a million people watching them.
Mm-hmm.
I truly believe that. And I don't think a lot of people get that experience. I think that the beautiful thing that we all have in common, and I'm not talking about just the 3 of us, but everyone that's been in this franchise and or other reality TV, can truly say they know who they are, either based on the outcome and the journey they've gone through, and or they haven't wavered in the face of what everyone says. And so I appreciate that. The way Brandon came about it, I love Brandon. I think he's a great guy. the way that you come about it. I've said it a million times today. I think that you are walking in your identity and that you are confident and not arrogant. And that for some people, they haven't seen that before. Mm-hmm. And then you added to it, which is, bro, you don't know what's taking place when the camera wasn't watching.
Exactly.
Michelle's parents don't know. Your parents don't know. And so that's between you and Michelle. And so I love that you said that. I was just saying, I was going like this because I didn't want to interrupt you, but I was like, preach. To include myself. Exactly. To include myself. What we do is all we see is the camera. What's shown on camera. All we do is see what's on camera. And
at the end of the day, man, like it doesn't matter what you do. 100% of the people aren't gonna always love you 100% of the time. Like that's one thing.
Lord, I'm learning that right now.
What's one thing that I learned about this show? Like you're gonna get, bro, you guys are gonna get tons of love, and you guys are gonna get tons of hate. Just like don't put so much stock in either or. Like stay even keeled, stay together, love each other, and bro, if you need to reach out to me for anything, obviously I know it's gonna be tough. Once the final rose and all that comes out, that was probably like the day after was probably one of the toughest days in our relationship, but it just made us stronger. So, if it is hard, I hope that, it has the same effect on your relationship. And if you need to talk to anybody, bro, I'm here. All right.
Most definitely. I appreciate both of you guys.
Yeah. Appreciate you, man.
Keep that effective communication open. And I have no malice towards you, my brother. I really don't.
No, most definitely. It's like you said when we were talking on DMs briefly. We're gonna talk it out. We talked it out, and it's always love. It's always love. But I'm just the type of person that I have to address things the same way I feel like you are.
I'm about to say we're the exact same in that regard.
We're the exact same type of person. So it's like instead of like thinking this, thinking that, I'm glad that we did it on this platform, on your platform, so we could talk it out, make sure that everything's solid, and everything is solid.
Look at talking it out, bringing us together. I love this. I love this podcast.
Nate, right quick. Like I said to you, Nate, when we were in DMs, I didn't want to go further because I knew that we were going to talk it out. I wanted it to be like when I tweeted about you, I knew we were going to have you on. Yeah. But when we DM'd, I wanted to not go further. I wanted your I didn't want to be kumbaya prior to talking it out. I felt that we should talk it out here, get it all the way out. We are alike, and I think my personality is amazing. And I think that your personality is amazing. You feel me? And so, and the reason I think it's amazing is because this is how you get to know somebody. Yeah. This is how you truly get to be like, wow, I like this individual. I know this individual more. I've asked the tough questions. I've learned from them. And so, thank you, Nate.
Exactly. Next time that you're in Austin, we'll definitely be getting together. I'm looking forward to that because you live in Austin, right?
Yes. Well, I'm in Mexico right now, but I live in Austin.
Yeah. No, most definitely. I'm looking forward to that.
Same, bro. Well, I know that if we play basketball, I'm gonna go to your right, not your left.
We're not doing that.
Or some left.
I'll wait till you're done with the pickup game. We can kick it or something.
All right. Last words, homie. I think this is from Bryan and I and everyone else in Bachelor Nation. We love your love. Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats, man. All the best.
Appreciate both of you guys. Thank you.
All right, man. Take care.
Really. Bryan, look, how many kudos do we be getting on talking it out? I'm just saying, talking it out is where it's at. I love that Nate. I truly feel that we've seen so much of Nate's journey from this Charles situation to him talking about a little bit about his culture with his father to him not, this is my biggest pet peeve on this show, when people be like, I love you from first moment. I just don't understand that.
You mean like a fan loving you, the person on the show from the first moment?
No, that's different. I'm talking about like when you go on this show and you be like, I love you, baby. Like how you know that? And so I appreciate it growing with Nate. I genuinely do. That's my biggest pet peeve.
But at the same time, bro, like, I mean, somebody like Brandon, like some people are just like that. You know what I'm saying? Some people are very lovey-dovey. No, he didn't. But, he was like super. It was a contrast, right? Like he was super sure. It was a contrast.
It was.
He was like all in, like this is the one,
And that's what I said about
they're talking about like he's already naming their kids and shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and you have Nate over here talking about, he's scared, he's nervous, like he has reservations, like until he got there. But both of those are okay. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's what I said about when you weren't here. The contrast, I didn't say the word contrast, but it was like the Rocky movie where it's Rocky Balboa going against the big, tall Russian guy. It's
Drago.
completely different. Drago, there you go. I've been trying to think of this dude's name forever now.
Oh, man, Ivan Drago? How do you forget that name?
Look, now, Brian, I don't want to say it, but you're older than me, okay? And so it's completely different. And we got to watch something genuine unfold. And that's what I appreciate the most. Yeah. Genuinely unfolded. And we didn't get to see that. We didn't, like Nate said, we didn't get to see every single moment. We never will get to see that from any of these Bachelor shows. But what we do get to see is that we get to watch their love, and that's what we love to see the most.
Yeah, and he's apologetic. This is his truth. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, he took things as they came, the way he felt. Like he wasn't going to put on an act or, say things that he didn't really feel until he really felt them. So I got to give him kudos for that, man. I think everybody out there is gonna really love this interview and just really got to know Nate on a deeper level, which I love, and that's what we do here on Talking It Out. So with that being said, to everybody out there listening, thank you for tuning into today's episode. And also, guys, we're casting for The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. More love stories to come. So make sure to head to bachelornation.com/apply.
We always love to hear your opinions, your stories, and your insight. So please don't forget to like, comment, follow, message us on social at Talking It Out, B as in Bachelor, N as in Nation on IG, Bachelor Nation on TikTok and Facebook, and Bachelor Nation on Twitter. As you can tell from today's episode, we really do take an interest. The guests do, Brian and myself do. So please continue to write into us. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and listen to us on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts. And baby, don't DM me no more until you hit that subscribe. We love y'all.